Earning an executive MBA at Georgetown isn't the path of least resistance, but it does come with the greatest reward. Benefit from our strong alumni network, renowned faculty, DC location, and global residencies. Get started at choosegeorgetown.com/EMBA.
Please listen carefully.
This is an Aquarian Radio special podcast. I'm your host, Karen Christine Patrick. My name is Karen Christine Patrick, and I'm a host on Aquarian Radio. This special podcast is called Insightful Predictions for 2016. I brought together various people associated with Aquarian Radio in 2015. I got their thoughts and their feelings about this new year, and I paired those recordings with music from the freemusicarchive.org. I hope you will be inspired by the words and the music and positive thoughts as we embark on new adventures in 2016.
Happy New Year. This is Charlotte Rose Wan. I'm a co-host for Aquarian Radio, the We Are the Anunnaki series. I'm an admin for Free Experiencers, the Edgar Mitchell Facebook group, and I'm also an admin for the Linkage Institute, a university of mind as conceptualized by A.R. Borden. I feel that 2016 will be a year of furthering our understanding of how our thoughts and words affect reality. As energetic vibrational beings in an energetic vibrational universe, the ongoing shift in frequency will bring about new awareness, and each of us will begin to tap into our own unique frequency. In doing so, we will use that energy to manifest real change. Many of us are beginning to utilize our natural gift of telepathy and empathy. In 2016, we will see an increase in human awareness of this. 2016 will challenge us to embrace love over fear. This will be the year of love over fear, finding inner strength and courage to deal with the challenges that much of us will be facing as 2016 unfolds. One of my dear friends wished me peace and joy over troubled waters. I wish the same for all of you. We must unite and be respectful of our differences this year. More than ever, we are one race, human. I feel that something will occur to bring that truth home to every heart. We stand at a crossroads. We have two timelines intersecting. One leads to the gloom and doom future that has fear as its Time Lord. It pits humanity against each other, and it reaps the rewards of chaos, death, destruction, and war. The other timeline has love as its Time Lord. In that timeline, humanity has a chance to reach its full potential. Love overcomes fear, and in doing so, allows peace to bloom. We step up, take responsibility, and step into our future.
Hello, my name is Karen Christine Patrick. I'm a contactee, experiencer, and researcher into alternative history, economics, and spirituality. I am a host on Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. I'm also an admin for the Facebook group for free, which stands for the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial Encounters, an organization by experiencers and for experiencers. My predictions for 2016. Well, first I'd like to tell you a story about a dream that I had once, a dream that I called the white microphone. I had this dream that I was standing in front of a large corporate-style building with mirror windows. In front of this building, there was a white stand where people could come up and speak. On this stand was a white microphone. It was just standing there. I looked off to the side of the building. I saw, as far as the eye could see, a line of people. These people each were holding some kind of information. They had briefcases and file folders, computers, and they were waiting. They were waiting to stand at the white microphone and speak. I took this to mean that there's a lot of people who want to tell the truth, but they don't have a place or a way to do so. For my main prediction for 2016, I've called it the year of the need to tell. People are feeling a disconnect between what they see, feel, and are experiencing, and the consensus reality show narrative is just not working. What do I mean by the consensus reality show? Well, the term consensus reality has been around for a while, an agreed upon construct of reality. Anything outside that construct is seldom discussed, and more people have questions, concerns, and truth that stands outside this consensus reality. I've added the word consensus reality show. I've added the word show because most of our consensus reality is defined by media. Our media world and our cyberspace world is a show. It's theatric, designed to define the language and the presentation of what it is that we have to say. It has to fit a certain paradigm. And yet more and more people feel outside that paradigm. In the past, so many of us have been kept from knowing so many things because our human collective utilized a compartmentalized system where only those deemed worthy of the need to know were clued in on what was happening. Now, those levels of governance are watching us. The collective of humankind is going through a transformation, and many of us are experiencing a need to tell or express our truth. Our experiences are beginning to stack up as being different, separate from what everyone else is talking about. Many are experiencing a burning need to tell, to express their truth. Many people are overcoming their fears and being emboldened to speak out, to speak their truth. They are being encouraged by other people who have been stepping up to the white microphone, to the stand of truth, who've been speaking out what the human experience really is. And so that's why my main prediction for the year 2016 is so many are going to have a need to tell, and the opportunities to do so are going to be made available.
Hello, my name is Brett Colin Shepard. I am the founder of the Lunar Anomaly Research Society. I am a writer, an editor, and a graphic consultant for the past 6 months, currently working on Ken Johnston's archive. Really great stuff, interesting stuff. I'm here to make some predictions for 2016. I can tell you that I don't normally believe in predictions or predicting the future of any kind. Because of the slots and the time slots and the differentials, and basically hard to predict. In the ancient days of the Gnostics and the Chaldeans, they used prediction as a form of magic, and it really wasn't prediction. What they were doing is using patterns. So I see a lot of patterns on the timeline that could explain some of the possibilities that we may see. In the economic sector, I would say that it will be similar to a very, very long recession or a depression type of situation, which we've already been experiencing and getting used to. This is probably going to happen for quite a while, and it's going to start in 2016. These changes will be subtle, nothing really major or hard-hitting like some have predicted for the future. I don't believe that ISIS is coming or some fictitious acronym that's going to attack us. I feel that basically people are human all over the world, and everybody is experiencing the same thing. It's sort of a malaise, and that would be the best way to describe 2016. It's going to be somewhat of a malaise. A lot of good things can happen under the radar, so to speak, while everybody is in sort of a malaise. You can actually get a lot of work done. You can get some work done that you wouldn't normally be able to get done because because of all the eyes on you and anything that's expected of you or anything like that. So it could be a very productive year. So one of the predictions I could say is it's going to be productive, even though it seems like the world is falling apart, which is an eventuality, because it runs its course, and it's sort of rebooting things in 2016 so that we can basically get some resemblance of balance in nature, in the economy, in our lives, so that we can continue the exact same patterns. Thank you.
Our next voice is Clyde Crisp, a healer, alchemist, and energy worker with his thoughts for 2016.
Hello, and I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to give you some of my thoughts this year, 2016, coming up. We're a few days into it already. And unlike Karnak, the character played by Johnny Carson on that wonderful comedic television series, I don't have the answers written down where I can give you the answers and you can ask the questions. But I would like to look into the future for just a little bit. I'm not Edgar Cayce or any of the rest of the people, but I have 3 points in mind that might be of interest to you. And if they are, I hope you enjoy them. The first one would be there's growing interest in our government, president, and the situations at hand. I think the first part of that, we'll see a lot of interest peaked in gun control and how that applies to our individual lives, how it's going to play out as a society, how it's going to work in favor of or against the people that are involved with the constitutional rights. The control of guns has always been a stickling point for all the governments, and our individual rights are tied to it amazingly. It's a complex issue, and people need to consider more than just somebody carrying a gun like we do in Texas. We all have guns here, I've been told in my travels around the states and in Canada, and a lot of us do. We don't just go out on the streets every day and shoot somebody at sundown, but do our best to keep everything under control and use them for the right reasons. The second part is immunizations. I think this year will be a lot of there'll be an intense growing awareness of immunizations and the good, bad, and the ugly points of those. We seem to be reaching what I consider a critical mass on knowledge across the internet, and the tie-in with autism on immunizations, the growing responsibility of what is causing used to be 1 in 10,000, now we're down to 1 in 58 or 1 in 53, or depends on which comments you use. But the fact that autism is so rampant now, and of course I have research in that area that I prefer to look at and see what's going on. And I think the third point in the government, people's continuing interest toward the government, would be in the space agency and space travel. More and more awareness of ETs and the possibilities, the presumptions, and movies that come out. All the necessary things are in place for the dominoes to start falling faster and faster into our reality, what we feel like is real, what we believe that we know, and how that we know it. That's the first sector. I think there'll also be, my second point would be growing interest in, one thing I find for myself is a growing interest in spirituality. It's a differentiation between religion, religiosity, churches, and things like that. Spirituality is that ability for us to connect so deeply within ourselves to source, to the creator, to higher power, to lots of names for it. But it's in our quest and our best interest, growing more and more to identify who we are. For years and years and years, one of the biggest problems I've run into in the United States is the fact that we have a society of people that are so caught up in doing for other people, the identity is lost, and we find that people really don't know who they are. So this is going to be one of the points. Spirituality is going to be a strong area for people to look into and to start seeking answers that are actually can come from within. And while we're doing that, let's look at what our real roots are. How much does it, do we actually come out of the spew of an amoeba mass formed in the oceanic stew, hit by a lightning bolt and then suddenly jarred into life? That's our real roots. I think this 2016 is going to be an awakening year for so much of that. And then again, third point of this, the growing interest is in our quality of life. People have always equated, or a lot of people have equated the quality of life to the amount of money that you got in the bank. But with the bank failures, the potential for the European euro to fall this year, the instability of the gold, the silver, real estate, all kinds of things that we seek in this facade around us that's being taken and shaken. I think that the quality of life, people are going to start understanding that if we just started breathing better, deeply, and more concerned, we'd feel a lot better just from that very simple thing. And some slow movement exercises, as far as almost like a dance routine, stretching that's done like an animal, that a dog or a cat, whenever they get up, they do a stretching, but it's not against their body. It's very much in tune with the body. And the third area I'd like to talk to, just a couple of areas touching on that, is healing. I think that the medical system has proven significantly that it's failed in its ability to prevent. There's not much in the way of preventative therapies out there as far as the medical field, because they can't make much money if they keep people from getting sick. So I think that we're going to see a huge upturn in 2016 in the area of energy work with healing, because after all, we are energetic beings encased in a little bit denser state that we can actually see, touch, taste, feel, things like that. But I think we're going to see a lot more things going on with energy in the way of recreating bodies, the healing that seems to be like miracles, and they will be a miraculous level. I've seen so many of them already in this last 20 years of my work. But the energetic body is going to be mended by energy. People are going to learn to work cohesively instead of trying to dictate where the energy flows and goes, allowing the body to direct its own flow to where it needs it the most. We think we know so much, and yet whenever I get into the energy work with people, allowing energy to flow where it needs to go, so many times things happen in areas that I don't expect, don't know, I'm not concerned with. I just allow energy to flow through my body, and whenever it comes to receiving, my body wants to receive that energy that's actually good for it, and it goes where it is. And one of the greatest forms, the last point I'd like to bring to you, one of the greatest forms of energy movement, healing, and all things concerning that area is love. Love is so misunderstood, so considered just a physical realm, but it transcends physicality, it reaches through time, and it goes back to a place where we all come from. So I think there'll be a lot of, like I was talking about earlier, searching out for our roots. I think that there'll be a lot of understanding opened up in the area of love. I want to thank you for listening to this, and y'all have a good day.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Reverend John M. Polk. I'm a co-host with Aquarian Radio every Friday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us. We'd love to have you as part of our listening audience, but please also feel free to tune in to any of our shows, Thursday through Sunday. All shows air between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to have you as part of our listening audience. Additionally, I'm an international metaphysical minister. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm a consultant for Dr. Edgar Mitchell's Free, which is the foundation for research into extraterrestrial encounters. And I'm also a medium. And when I say medium, I mean that I can openly communicate with extraterrestrials, extra-dimensionals, ultra-terrestrials, spirits, and many entities that exist on the other side. Predictions 2016. Before the end of the year 2016, my book entitled Yahweh, the Biblical God, is an Alien, available in ebook and paperback by going to johnpolkmedia.com. That's JOHNPOLK media.com. This book will begin to receive viral attention via the internet and all media. This will bring into question the fundamental concepts of God and religion. The veil will slowly be lifted regarding ET posing as the real God in cultures around the world. This will not be quickly or easily embraced by humanity, but it will serve as an item for heated debates, which is what I want. My whole intention behind my book is to spark controversy and get people talking about this ultra-sensitive topic, and I will be in the crosshairs, and I will be in the middle of the storm. I will also be viciously attacked, which is also what I want. Bad press is better than no press, and a stage will be set to bring about awareness regarding ET. This again will be aired out throughout all mediums of media, including TV, radio, and mostly the internet. I will willingly become the sacrificial lamb in an effort to bring about disclosure so that humanity can ascend closer towards enlightenment. Along the way, I will lose most of my friends, many family members, and the ability to work in entertainment, which is my current profession, because of all the ridicule I will face. But I simply don't care. Other experiencers and myself worldwide are sticking out our collective necks in attempts to usher in a new age of change that will help all humanity grow together. I want the whole world to know and understand that there is monotheism. There is only one God. I call him the universal God consciousness, and he loves all of us. Most war, terrorism, and conflict stems from religion, or what we think religion is. One day, the world will know that ET established culture and religion on Earth thousands of years ago. Experiencers like myself around the world are commissioned on a mission by the real God to proliferate this message so that we may evolve as a species together and better understand our rightful place amongst the stars in the universe. Experiencers Speak 4 UFO Conference, August 28th and 29th, 2015. I was the opening speaker. During my presentation, I conducted a seance where I summoned benevolent ETs to join in on our congregation. It worked. 4 human-like ETs, 2 with grayish-blue skin, appeared and spoke mostly with me and about 5 other people. There were upwards of 20 or more witnesses to this life-changing event. Around the same time, Ray Hernandez of Dr. Edgar Mitchell's Free, the Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial Encounters, he visited Mount Shasta in California. He and many others witnessed ETs while camping on the mountain. My prediction is that these types of events where ET is unafraid to be seen in front of multiple witnesses is going to occur more frequently. I further predict that I will have a similar encounter again during the year of 2016, and so will many other experiencers. It will happen again. Many others and myself will see live ETs on the earth plane again as a sign of their second coming, as prophesied in the Bible and many other religious texts regarding Christ and other deities returning to our planet. And this is part of the beginning of disclosure. My final predictions for this podcast, I pray I am wrong about. First, let's entertain the premise, as above, so below. With all of the terrorist attacks, the shootings and bombings, etc. What is going on in the heavens or in outer space with the ETs? As there is a lack of harmony and there is a dark discourse among we earthbound humans, I feel the same is occurring with multiple factions of ETs in the cosmos. This is all boiling to a head, and something inevitable is going to happen. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Perhaps a celestial war over the future of our planet, which I believe is well underway. And in conclusion, ISIS is planning an attack here in the United States. Just like with 911, I surmise that our government knows about it and is in fact possibly in on it. Obama has over 15 close advisors, most of which are Muslims. That's why they are laying down and doing little or nothing about it. I pray to the real universal God consciousness and the benevolent ETs to bring about love, peace, and disclosure to the people of our planet.
Aloha everyone, my name is Janet Kira Lesson, and I'm here with my husband, Dr. Sasha Lesson, and we're here to talk about our wishes, hopes, and desires for the new year 2016. Dr. Sasha Lesson is my beloved husband. He's a very accomplished man. He has a PhD in anthropology from UCLA. He has master's and other continuing education in psychology. He's a radio show host and producer of many shows on Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. He's a speaker at conferences, an educator. He's been a college professor at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, and many other universities and in his long, distinguished career. And he lives here with me and our 10 cats in Maui, Hawaii. And we're not crazy cat people, we just have a cat colony, and they come and we feed them, take care of them. So we're both here to talk about our wishes for the new year 2016, and I'd like Dr. Lesson, Sasha, to go first.
If wishes were consciousness expanders, then we all could experience all our levels of existence, from the 3D reality all the way up to our existence as the creator of all. The specific wishes that I would like to make for the next year are for love, peace, freedom, and justice. By love, what I mean is the support and encouragement of every person on this planet. And that will bring about peace, which is the second point. And to do this, we need basic living support for every person on this planet. We need freedom of people to make their own choices, freedom of women to say no to having too many children or having children at all if they so wish, and saying no to arranged marriages and making their own choices. They need the freedom. So love, peace, freedom, and fairness or justice we no longer in this new year, if my wish comes true, will suffer from the degradation and denigration of women, but we will use the full wisdom of all the women on this planet as well as all the men. And while we're at it, we are going to respect not just people, but the consciousness of the animals and the plants and the ecosystems with which we share our whole existence. Those are my wishes: love, peace, freedom, and justice.
I'd like to expand on that. For me, for 2016, talking about love, I would love for all of us individually and collectively to reach a level of divine, unconditional love. And what I mean by that is that you're not going to live with everybody or sleep with everybody, but you understand and comprehend their human condition and what it takes for them to get through each day, and just love them and bless them and forgive them, for they truly do not know what they do. And the reason they don't know is because our planetary governments and the powers that be, or the power elite, or the Illuminati, or however you symbol it, they keep the truth from us. So I'd like to add to the list that Dr. Lesson Sasha has given you is we have truth and reconciliation and forgiveness. What I mean by truth is that we get the whole truth behind the extraterrestrial presence here on the earth, who they are, when they came here, the true history of the earth, the true history behind our religions and our politics, and the beings that are here on the earth, under the water, in the earth, and who visit here. They come and go frequently. Once we have that truth, then we have the freedom to do things like travel in space, because these technologies already exist. Our current governments, powers that be, are thousands of years in advance of the technology that we have here that's given to human beings to operate from on a daily basis. But we, in reality, have clean, green systems of energy, so we no longer have to pollute and destroy human and other life forms. This toxic level of pollutants that are going into our environment just from transportation alone is destroying this incredible ecosystem which took billions of years to create, and many species have been coming here since its inception to add their DNA and their and mix and match. The DNA is like paint on a palette. So they've been coming here, and this is a project, an art project, of many beings who have invested in the Earth, this beautiful planet, Gaia. So we also have cures for all diseases. These pollutants and toxins that are put in our food and water on purpose by those who wish to control our population on an unconscious level, it's no longer acceptable. The truth will set us free, and we will at last have food that supports us and nurtures us and allows us to have healthy bodies, and air that's clean that we can breathe, and so we don't have diseases from any of these pollutants that are in our air, water, land, etc. And there's also longevity cures that will allow us to live much longer lives, if not virtually physically immortal. And of course, you ask, well, what will we do with all those people? Well, we'll have space travel. We will be able to go out and colonize the planets. And we won't take war and disease and death and destruction with us, because with a basic needs economy, which will replace this current system, which is collapsing at an accelerated rate, you can see it, it's just bound to dissolve and collapse. So these new systems of monetizing, not monetizing, but allowing our world leaders and our world society to provide for every person born, so they can live with dignity, peace, grace, and beauty. So peace, that covers that. Freedom, of course, the truth will set us free. And when we have access to these other societal structures that the extraterrestrials will provide to us, once we have full disclosure, and disclosure is probably not going to come top down from our governments, but it will come from those individual contactees, experiencers that are being contacted, because the governments had their chance and they didn't do it. However, it's never too late. They can still come forth with all these experiencers and stop ridiculing the experiencers. I am an experiencer. And stop ridiculing us and accept the wisdom that is coming through these people in the millions and billions.
Fairness and justice.
Fairness and justice. Well, in all fairness, we really don't have any justice on this planet right now.
What do you wish for?
I wish for us to have fairness and justice. And what that means for me is that there will be basic human civil rights available to all sentient life form. We have to reach our definition of human or humanoids to a much broader scale, and also sentient life to include other types of beings like mantis and reptilians and greys, etc., that right now are being featured in the movies that are produced by Hollywood, but are in fact truths that we need to embrace and recognize and learn how to cooperate with all beings, all species, and move way past our prejudice and bigotry of life in forms that are male or female or blue-skinned or yellow-skinned, orange, purple, pink, whatever skin color. That's ridiculous. It just shows that we are level zero civilization, because that's where our mindset is. But the truth and all this information that's forthcoming in 2016 will set us free, and we will have freedom and different societal systems. And my wish is that at last everyone is treated fairly and equally, and we move past the hierarchy and patriarchy and matriarchy to a partnership society, which includes our beautiful animals and plants, and honoring all life in all forms, from the largest to the smallest, from the planets and the solar system and the universe down to, tiny beings like insects and microbes and etc., etc. Just like in the original Star Trek series, especially Star Trek Next Generation, that when they were out exploring the universe, all life was revered, and they did everything they could to do no harm to any life forms. What would you like to say, Dr. West?
May this indeed be the age of Aquarians. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and love abounding, no more falsehoods or derisions, mystic crystal dreams and visions, and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius, the age of Enki, has arrived.
And it's also the age of Nimba, his divine partner. And their example of partnership is one that each and every one of us needs to embrace in 2016 to save the human race and all other beings. Much love, blessings, and
Aloha.
aloha.
This has been a special Aquarian Radio podcast with the voices of myself, Karen Christine Patrick, Charlotte Rose Wan, Brett Colin Shepard, Clyde Crisp, the Reverend John Polk, Janet and Sasha Lesson, and with the musical talents from the Free Music Archive, Chris Zabriskie, Dr. Turtle, PC3, Scott Holmes, Whodinits, and the wonderful pipe choir who gave us our theme song for the show, Dream On. Have a prosperous, positive, and joyful 2016 from us at Aquarian Radio.
is ours tonight. In whispers, in mirror song. Dream on, dream
Earning an executive MBA at Georgetown isn't the path of least resistance, but it does come with the greatest reward. Benefit from our strong alumni network, renowned faculty, DC location, and global residencies. Get started at choosegeorgetown.com/EMBA.